এবং এটা যেই পিকনিক টিকনিক আমাদের হবে, যারা ভালো রেজাল্ট করবে এদের জন্য আমাদের এই ভালো একটা গিফট থাকবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ শহীদ ভাই, থ্যাংক ইউ আপনার এরকম।
এবং আমরা বলে দিচ্ছি মুয়াজ্জেম ভাই,
হ্যাঁ,
যে ফার্স্ট হবে তাকে আমরা এই অ্যাটলিস্ট $200 পুরস্কার দিব। আমরা তিনজনকে নিয়ে আসি, $200, $100, আমরা পুরস্কারটা দিব ডলারে। এটা হলো বাচ্চারা উৎসাহিত হবে।
আমি দেখলাম আমাদের রেজাউর রহমান, আমজাদ এরা শুরু থেকে ভালো কিছু করার জন্য তারা উৎসাহী ছিল এবং তারা বাস্তবে কিছু ভালো কিছু করে দেখাচ্ছে, তারা প্রমাণ করেছে তারা কিছু ভালো করতে পারে এবং ভালো করছে এবং তাদের উৎসাহ উদ্দীপনার কোনো অভাব নাই। তো আমরা যারা পিছনে থেকে তাদেরকে একটু হেল্প যদি করতে পারি তারা আরো আগে যাবে এবং আগে মানে কি ভালো কিছু করতে পারবে তারা। আমরা যেমন এর আগে যে কতগুলা জিনিস দেখলাম, রেজাউর রহমান এবং আমজাদ দুজনে মিলে যেমন বাংলাদেশের কিছু প্রেক্ষাপট তার আলোচনা করেছে, গ্রিন হাউস বা গ্রিন ফিল্ডের কথা কিছু তার আলোচনা করেছে, বাংলাদেশের যে আমাদের টানেলটা যে হলো যে দক্ষিণ এশিয়ার প্রথম যে আমাদের বঙ্গবন্ধুর নামের বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান যে টানেলটি হলো, এটা একটা বিশেষ টেকনিক্যাল নলেজের উপরে যে আমাদের লোকজন আইডিয়া পেল ইঞ্জিনিয়াররা, এটা একটা বিশাল একটা অবদান যে টেকনিক্যাল নো হাউ জানার জন্য যে প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ছিল। উনি একজন কোর মেম্বার এই প্যানেলের, তো উনি আসছেন। তো সব কিছু মিলে আমি দেখলাম যে যাদের আগ্রহ আছে জানার এবং যারা শিখতে চায় তারা যদি এই গ্রুপে থাকে বা জানার চেষ্টা করে, কিছু না এক দেড় ঘন্টা সময় এবং কাজের অবসর সময়ে আমরা যেটা বলছি রেজাউর রহমান এবং আমজাদ যেটা করছে রাত্র সবসময় 8টা, 8:30 বা 7:30 ইউএই টাইম 9টা সবকিছু মিলে আমরা দেখলাম যে অবসর সময় এই সময়গুলো তারা বেছে নিয়েছে। তো এটাই সময় সবাই একটু 1-1.5 ঘন্টা সময় যদি দিতে পারে, এটা নিজের অ্যাসেট, নিজের একটা নলেজ বিল্ড আপের জন্য, নিজের নলেজ ডেভেলপমেন্টের জন্য এই সময়টুকু যদি দিতে পারে এটা নিজের একটা অ্যাসেট হবে বলে আমি মনে করি। বিশেষ করে আমি টানেলটার সম্বন্ধে টেকনিক্যাল যে নলেজটা আমি নিজে গেইন করলাম বা আমি নিজে যে জানলাম, এই সেশনটা যদি আমি অ্যাটেন্ড না করতাম তাহলে তো আমি জানতাম না। আমি যেটা গ্রিন হাউস বিল্ডিং এর যে টেকনোলজিটা সম্বন্ধে আমি জানলাম, যেটা গ্রিন ফিল্ডের যে টেকনোলজিটা আমি জানলাম বা যে চিন্তা ভাবনাগুলো করলো বা যে ধরনের নলেজ আমাদের যে যারা প্রেজেন্টার ছিলেন উনি যে দিলেন, আমরা অবাক হয়ে গেছি যে আমাদের লোকজন এত ভালো জানেন এবং এত সুন্দর নলেজ আমাদের সঙ্গে শেয়ার করলেন। তো আমরা এর ফ্রি আর কি পেতে পারি, এর চেয়ে ফ্রি আর কি পেতে পারি অনলাইনে। তো এনিওয়ে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ রেজাউর রহমান এবং আমজাদ হোসেন। আমি মনে করি প্লিজ গো হেড, উই আর অলওয়েজ উইথ ইউ and inshallah if further any support required, inshallah we are ready to support in all corners. Thank you and appreciate your kind effort.
মুয়াজ্জেম ভাই, আমার একটু কথা, সেটা হলো এই যে যারা এখন উৎসাহী হচ্ছে ওদেরকে পুরস্কৃত করতে হবে। ছোটরা যখন তারা পুরস্কার পাবে, বিভিন্ন আমরা পিকনিক করব, পিকনিকের সময় তাদেরকে আমরা পুরস্কৃত করব এবং এখানের মধ্যে ভালোদেরকে আগায় নিয়ে আসো। আমি মনে করি যে এতে বাচ্চারা উৎসাহিত হবে এবং আমরা এই ধরনের পজিটিভ কাজগুলো, আসলে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং প্রফেশনটা এরকম ডাক্তারি প্রফেশনের মতো, যত বেশি শিখবেন, যত স্টাডি করবেন তত জানতে পারবেন। আমি যত ডক্টরেট ডিগ্রি নিয়েছি কিন্তু আমি আপডেট করতে পারিনি সময়ের সাথে, তাহলে আমার এটা কোনো দাম থাকবে না।
থ্যাংক ইউ,
আমাকে আপডেট করতে হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ
মজিম ভাই, আপনার অবগতির জন্য জানাচ্ছি একটু, আমি অলরেডি আমাদের এখানে শেখ জায়েদ খলিফা বিন জায়েদ বাংলাদেশ ইসলামিয়া স্কুলের সম্মানিত প্রিন্সিপালের সাথে কথা বলছি। উনি আমাদের সাথে একাত্মতা প্রকাশ করেছেন এবং উনি আমাদের সাথে বলছেন যে এটা ভালো একটা উদ্যোগ এবং এটা আমাদের বাচ্চাদের জন্য খুবই ভালো হবে। উনি আমাদের সাথে থাকবেন, আজকে উনি আমাদের সাথে আসবেন, উনি ওনার নিজের দুটা ফিলিংস এর কথা বলবেন যে আসলে এটা কতটা আমাদের জন্য উপকৃত হবে আর কি।
আরেকটা তথ্য তোমাদেরকে দিয়ে রাখি, রেজাউর রহমান তুমি লাইনে আছো কিনা? রেজাউর রহমান লাইনে আছো কিনা? আমজাদ তোমরা একটা শুনে রাখো।
হ্যাঁ আছি মঞ্জুর ভাই।
আমাদের সম্মানিত কনসাল জেনারেল মহোদয় আমাকে একটা রিকোয়েস্ট করেছিলেন এই গ্রুপটার সম্বন্ধে। উনি বলেছিলেন ওনার একটা স্কুল এন্ড কলেজ আছে এটা এই
ফাইন।
স্কুলের কলেজের ছাত্রগুলোকে এই কানেকশন করার জন্য গ্রুপে উনি আমাকে রিকোয়েস্ট
ও
করেছিলেন। তো এই লিঙ্কটা
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ।
আমি ওনার সঙ্গে কালকে কথা বলে আমি এটা কানেক্টিং পয়েন্ট যেটা হবে, কন্টাক্ট পয়েন্ট যেটা হবে, ওটা দিলে ওই
আচ্ছা
ছাত্রগুলোকে যেন কানেক্ট করা হয়। উনি আমাকে দীর্ঘদিন আগেই বলেছিলেন। আমি যাক যে কোনো কারণে হোক, আমি এটা বাই মিস্টেক আমি এই জিনিসগুলো তোমাদেরকে আপডেট করতে পারি নাই। তো ওনার এই স্কুল কলেজটা যদি আপডেট করা হয়, উনি খুব আগ্রহ প্রকাশ করেছেন যে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারদের নলেজটা যদি আমার ছেলে মেয়েরা যদি পায়, স্কুল কলেজে ইন ফিউচার তাদের ভালো আরো জানার আগ্রহ বাড়বে এবং তারা কিছু আপডেট থাকবে বর্তমান এই টেকনোলজি সম্বন্ধে। তো আমার মনে হয় যে আমি কালকে ওনার থেকে একটা কন্ট্যাক্ট পয়েন্ট নিয়ে তোমাদেরকে দিয়ে দিলে প্লিজ তোমরা অ্যাড করো, ওনার স্কুল কলেজের স্টুডেন্টগুলোকে অ্যাড করো এবং ওনাদের এই এই নলেজগুলো শেয়ার করার সুবিধাটা তোমরা করে দিবা। কনসাল জেনারেল মহোদয় অনেক খুশি হবে তোমাদের প্রতি। আমি কালকে কন্ট্যাক্ট পয়েন্টটা দিয়ে দেবো।
ধন্যবাদ মজুম ভাই, আপনার ইনোভেটিভ এবং অনেক সুন্দর হবে এটা। আমাদের কাছে যদি এই লিঙ্কটা আসে এবং আমরা যদি তাদেরকে জয়েন করতে পারি, লিস্ট সবাই এটা আমাদের এই গ্রুপটা নিয়ে আমাদের যে কার্যক্রম এটা যাতে বাংলাদেশের সমস্ত জায়গায়, সারা বিশ্বের সমস্ত জায়গায় ছড়িয়ে যায় এবং সবাই এখান থেকে যতটুকু পারে যদি উপকৃত হয়, আমরা আমরা এতেই আমরা সাকসেসফুল বলে আমরা মনে করবো নিজেদেরকে। আর আরেকটা বিষয় হচ্ছে মজুম ভাই, আমাদের যে কনসেপ্টটা, আমাদের যে অ্যানালাইসিসটা, আসলে আমরা কেন এই গ্রুপটা করলাম, আসলে আমরা আমাদের যে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড, আমরা যেখানে কাজ করি এখন, প্রত্যেকটা জায়গায় আমরা কিছু ফ্রেন্ডদের সাথে কথা বলি, আমরা যেটা আমাদের অ্যানালাইসিসে যেটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা যারা বাংলাদেশি আছি বিভিন্ন প্রজেক্টে, বিভিন্ন কোম্পানিতে, তো এখানে আমাদের একটা যেটা বড় একটা ল্যাকিং আমাদের আছে সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের লিডারশিপটা আমাদের খুবই কম। আমাদের অ্যাজ এ ন্যাশনালিটি হিসেবে আমরা এই জিনিসটা শো করতে পারি না। তো এটার বেসিক্যালি এটা আসলে আমাদের অনেকগুলি এর সাথে ব্যাপার জড়িত আছে। আমাদের ফ্যামিলি কালচার, আপনার ইনস্টিটিউট, এনভায়রনমেন্ট, সবকিছু মিলে আসলে এটা হয়ে ওঠে নাই। তো আমরা চাচ্ছি আমাদের এই ল্যাকিংটা যেন আমাদের আমাদের যারা নেক্সট জেনারেশন, আমাদের বাচ্চারা যারা আসবে তাদের মধ্যে যাতে ওই ল্যাকিংটা না থাকে। তারা যেন 10 জন, 20 জন, 2000, 1000 মানুষের সামনে কথা বলতে পারে, নিজেদেরকে প্রেজেন্টেবল করতে পারে। এরই ধারাবাহিকতা আমাদের আসলে এটা করা। এর মধ্যে আমরা পরীক্ষিত বেশ কয়েকটা ফ্যামিলির সাথে কথা বলছি, তারা তাদের বাচ্চারা এখানে আসেন, তারা অলরেডি আমাদের কাছে তাদের যে রেজাল্ট, তাদের যে ফিডব্যাক, তারা বলেছেন যে হ্যাঁ আমাদের বাচ্চারা এখন, যাদের যে ইনার্সিয়াটা ছিল সেটা ভেঙে গেছে, এখন তারা কথা বলতে চায় এবং কথা বলতে সাহস করে। তো এটাই হচ্ছে আমাদের সবচেয়ে বড় ফিডব্যাক, যে আমরা আসলে যারা যেসব কিছু বাচ্চা আছে তারা অনেক জানে কিন্তু 2 জন মানুষের সামনে কথা বলতে ভয় পায়, ইনার্সিয়া, ইতস্তত বোধ করে। আমরা চাচ্ছি ওদেরকে ওটা ব্রেকআপ করে আমরা জাস্ট ফ্রন্টে নিয়ে আসার জন্য, তারা যেন আমাদের যে কোনো টপিকের উপরে 1 ঘন্টা 2 ঘন্টা আলোচনা করতে পারে। তো আজকের যে মডারেটর আমাদের খুব ইয়াঙ্গার একজন আমাদের বাচ্চা, সারিয়া বিনতে সামিউল। সো উনি এই আমাদের এই বাচ্চাটা, আপনি আজকে আজকে আপনার এই প্রোগ্রামে খুবই খুশি হবেন অবশ্যই, যে আসলে আমাদের বাচ্চারা কত সুন্দর কথা বলে, কত সুন্দর জানে সমসাময়িক বিষয় নিয়ে। আর আমাদের এই টপিকগুলি আমরা জাস্ট অ্যারেঞ্জ করেছি। আমাদের যে আমরা যে আইএলস প্রোগ্রামগুলি আমরা বিভিন্ন পরীক্ষা স্টুডেন্টরা আইএলস ইয়া করে ফেস করে, সে তারই ধারাবাহিকতা এখানে ধরেন স্পিকিং, রিডিং, রাইটিং, লিসেনিং, এই সবগুলি এর মধ্যে থাকে, টাস্ক টিফিন টাস্ক থাকে, যে তারা যেগুলো একটা টপিক নিয়ে কথা বলা, রাইটিং করা, এগুলো তারা তারা করতে পারে। তো আপনাদের সবাইকে রিকোয়েস্ট করবো আমাদের সাথে শেষ পর্যন্ত থাকবেন। আজকে আমাদের আমাদের বাংলাদেশ স্কুলের সম্মানিত প্রিন্সিপাল আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করবেন। কিরণ মিস, আপনি কি আমাদের সাথে আছেন?
জি জি আছি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
গুড টু সি এভরিওয়ান। হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ,
আসসালামু
আপনি
Alaikum assalam.
Miss Kiran, just I'd like to request you to explain your some your feelings about this group, and as well as that I request you before that I would like to request all of your students that they will come to us to share their knowledge and to learn something by this group. So please, I'd like to request you to say something about our group.
Yes, sure. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Amjad Khan for creating such a nice group. In fact, it will be very beneficial for all the students. এখানে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি অনেকগুলো স্টুডেন্ট আছে, and I appreciate your initiative, and it will really help our students as well. The first thing I find in my school students is the confidence level. I hope with this initiative এটা ওরা ওভারকাম করতে পারবে and in future they'll be able to have more confidence in what they are saying and approach in the 21st century skills, সব ধরনের skills তারা ওরা engage করতে পারবে, and they can in future inshallah in proper তাদের যে ফিল্ডটা ওরা সিলেক্ট করুক না কেন, either technology or medical or whatever, they can present themselves in a better way. কারণ 21st century skills এখন আমাদের জন্য অনেক চ্যালেঞ্জিং। ঢাকা বোর্ড এর সাথে তাল মিলিয়ে আমাদের যে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল লেভেলে আমাদের যে কম্পিটিশনটা, ইটস টাফ, বাট আই থিঙ্ক আমাদের যে নতুন কারিকুলাম আসতেছে নেক্সট ইয়ার, হোপফুলি ইট উইল বি বেটার ফর অল দ্য স্টুডেন্টস। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। আমি দেখি স্টুডেন্টসরা কি বলে, inshallah I will try to help them out also, and if anything they need, I'll be there to assist, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
মাজুম স্যারকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
Okay, Engineer Amjad, let's start.
So I would like to request, can I start Mojum bhai, then today's our session. I need your permission. Hello Mojum bhai, আপনার স্পিকারটা অফ আছে।
Please start, time is going on, please start.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum all. Today's our session, the topic is the three topics. Our moderator is Sariyah Bint Shamiul, grade 6, is from Dubai, and we have the top three topics today. Should a student have homework every day? How to make and ensure the green environment? Importance of time management. So I'd like to request you, Miss Sariyah Bint Shamiul, to start your session today. Thank you very much to all.
Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. My name is Sariyah Bint Shamiul. I am in grade 6. I am currently living in Dubai, Sharjah, UAE, Sharjah, sorry. I'm in Rosary Private School, Mawela. I am from Bangladesh, and today I'm the moderator of today's session. So today we have three topics, as Mr. Amjad Khan mentioned. The first topic is, should students have homework every day? Second topic is how to make and ensure the green environment. And the third topic is the importance of time management. So the goal of this session is to make sure that each and every student here is able to discuss these topics openly, and at the end we will have a Q&A session of 15 minutes. So since we're a bit late, I would like to start off with our first topic: should students have homework every day? So would anyone like to answer? If you want to answer, please raise your hand. Yes, Mr. Wasir Rahman, please.
Yes, my name is Wasir Rahman. I am currently in Qatar. I'm in Jalal Ali. I read in BMHM school. I'm from grade 7. So the first topic is, should students have homework every day? I feel like there should be a mix of homework and project work among every single student, because homework forces a student to memorize something or do something, which reduces their creativity, whereas projects also increases their creativity. So in the perspective of knowledge, gaining knowledge, we have to do homework. And then again, we have to do projects for enhancing our creativity, which is quite important in the modern world. So most of the time, schools do not give too much homework, or very less homework, or too many projects, or very less projects. Due to this, many students may be creative or less intelligent, less creative or more intelligent. So I feel like students should have a mix between them, a mix of homework as well as projects. So my answer is, students should have homework, but a limited amount of it within a week. Let's say good amount, but not too much, so it doesn't put mental pressure on a student while studying. Thank you. Go on.
Okay, you've made some very good points. To summarize what you said students should have a limit and a mix of homework and projects, because if there's too much homework, you may put a lot of mental pressure on the students. Very good. Thank you for answering. Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tahsin.
Yes. So, should students be given homeworks? According to my opinion, that totally depends on the type of homework that the students are getting. So, this topic of homework is a rather controversial topic. So, some are against it, and some are, some actually like it. So, for me, what I would say is it depends on the types of homeworks that is actually given. So, homeworks, the main aim of homeworks is to make a student study regularly. So if the teacher is giving homeworks which actually help the students to gain knowledge or make some practice, however, uh, it should be like the student shouldn't, give homeworks which is too much which will make too much stress on the student. So within a limit, the students should be given homeworks, and also to the point that the students are not too much stressed, because uh, some cases that I see that is most relevant is sometimes before the exams, the teachers of all the subjects, they give too much homework, which can overburden the students. So my suggestion is that give homeworks, but within a limited amount, which will actually help the student to increase their creativity, which will actually help them gain knowledge. At the same time, they will get the practice. So I think that's what it is.
Okay, you've made some very relevant points. So to sum up what you said, homework should actually benefit the student, and there should be a limit, and there shouldn't be too much homework so it doesn't cause mental strain on the student. I completely agree with what you said. Now, would anyone else like to answer? Maybe Mr. Abrar Pro or Mr. Abdullah Tafhim, or anyone, or Mr. Sinan Fatin. Would anyone like to answer? Yes, Mr. Ragib.
Yeah, so I think that homeworks should not be given every single day, because the purpose of homeworks is to make students study regularly, as mentioned earlier. And I think it's a bit counterintuitive, because you're giving homework to students so that they don't stress out at the end during their finals or their end of term exams. But it's counterintuitive, because by giving homeworks every day, you're actually stressing the students every single day up until the finals, which as mentioned earlier, it stunts creativity in the students as well. So it's not a good thing. And yeah, as mentioned earlier, it depends on the type of homework as well. For example, for me, my homework is basically just to revise the material we took the same day, which is not so bad. It's actually very useful. It helps me study regularly, and I get like regular assignments, like small exams throughout the week, which help me study regularly as well. And so that's why I think homeworks should be done in a proper way so that they don't stress students. Because if homeworks were mandatory to be given every single day, then every single subject, every single teacher would be giving homeworks without having consideration. Because a student might tell their math teacher, like, "Sir, I'm already getting homeworks from 7 other subjects. Could you like cut me some slack?" But like they don't care. They don't care if other teachers are giving you homework. They just care about their own subject. They don't have any consideration for the student, unless the teacher is actually very nice, which is very rare to find. So I think there should be a limit to how many homeworks are given, and students should be given breaks throughout the week so that they don't stress themselves out. Thank you.
Okay, you've made very good points, very clear and understandable. So you believe that students should not have homework every day, and you are also agreeing with someone else who mentioned that it depends on the type of homework you have and how relevant it is. And you also mentioned that teachers should have consideration for students who also have other homeworks. Very good. Mr. Abdullah Tafhim, please.
So I kind of agree with Mr. Raghib, but then what my opinion is that the homeworks, they shouldn't be given during the exam time, because that's when a person actually needs to study and shouldn't do work. But then during the normal days, the regular days, the homeworks should be given, but then they should work together, like in sync. For example, one day maybe from two subjects the homework should be given, and if there's a detailed timetable in which subjects each homework should be given from, then if they work together and doesn't overburden the student, then I think homeworks are really good, because generally 99% of the students, they procrastinate, they don't want to get into books. But if you are given a deadline and you are asked to give homeworks that could affect your internal marks or your exam marks, then I think even the worst student who cares about the exams and is an actual student of the school, he will get into the books. So that's a real good way of getting in. But then at the same time, it could overburden you. But then if the school management or the teachers, they all work together and just give the routine of which homeworks to give from which subjects, and not to overburden the student and giving him time for physical activities and everything, then I think homeworks are really beneficial, and that's the actual goal, which is really misused today. Because what teachers do is either they do not give homework at all, or all of them give at the same time. So if they could work together in order to give a balanced schedule, then I think the homeworks should be given every day, excluding the exam date and the holidays, because we need to do something in the holidays, not just be on the books and everything.
Okay, you've made some very good points. You've mentioned that you should have time for homework and time for other extracurricular activities, and if you do that, then homework will have a very good benefit on you. Thank you so much for answering. You made excellent points. I really understood what you said. Would anyone else like to answer on this topic? Maybe Miss Khan Ridwan, or would anyone else like to answer? I encourage all of you to speak during this meeting, because everyone here would love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, would anyone else like to share their thoughts about this topic? Anyone? Miss Radia Khan, would you like to say anything? No? Okay. Well, now that everyone has made very good points, let's move on to the to the next topic, which is how to make and ensure a green environment. So this question is basically means like, how do you make and provide care for a green environment? Green environment means like an environment with lots of trees and stuff. So would anyone like to share their thoughts? If anyone would please raise their hands. Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tahsin.
How to make environment more green, or how to improve the environment, I would say that we have to plant more trees. So nowadays what we see that there is an increased form of urbanization. Everybody is chasing behind modernism. They cut down forests to make nice buildings, but then the thing is, it's setting us back in a way that our country, it's becoming more polluted. So I would say that afforestation is a great way to make a green environment. There should be a perfect balance between the modernization or urbanization, and there should be a perfect balance on the other side. That is, we have to give importance to the nature as well, because no matter how modern we become, there we come from the nature. That's a fundamental statement. So I would say that balance is key. So no problem, you can make buildings, you can create industries, because obviously industries, they they feed our economy. But then at the same time, we have to make sure that we are not damaging nature. So I would say that my main theme is balance.
Okay, you've made some very good points. You mentioned that it's okay to cut down a few trees, for the industries, but at the same time, we should keep some balance. Very good. I really liked your points. I understood them very well. Yes, Mr. Wasi Rahman, would you like to say something?
Yeah. So about making a green environment, we have steps to make our environment more green, of course. But due to urbanization, our earth is slowly getting polluted. So just like Mr. Abdullah said, we should keep a balance. But not only that, I think there should be an awareness. Let's say you go to Bangladesh, okay? You meet a random person, a villager, okay? You ask him about global warming, pollution, etc. Would he understand? What are the chances that he will understand? So I think that the awareness should be spread among people. So we need to take steps in creating a more greener economy so we don't urbanize our earth too much that there's no green left on earth. Even electric vehicles nowadays, they are good for the environment. But where are we getting the batteries? We're using nickel, iron, copper, etc. to make an electric vehicles, which are all non-renewable resources. Thus, soon we will be in a problem where we cannot produce electrical things. So we'll have to look forward to other stuff. So we have also wind power, solar power, but these are not being used so much. And again, there should be a balance. In Scotland, there's an organization that is actually selling land. So you can like buy land in Scotland. Okay, so let's say 1 square meter or something, yeah? But that means that land is owned to you. You own that land. So if a company wants to cut down trees, plants there, they cannot unless they get your permission. So we are taking steps to create a better green world, but it's just not enough. We need awareness. Okay, thank you. That's all. Bye.
Okay, you've made very good points. You mentioned about balance and about deforestation and how we should not be in such a situation where there's no trees left. Very good. I really liked your explanation. I noticed that Mr. Sinan Fatin had his hand up, but it was done. Would you like to say anything about this topic? Would you like to share your thoughts, Mr. Sinan Fatin?
Yeah, I was thinking of awareness, and I do agree with it. Awareness is really important, and there are also other factors that can help make the environment more healthy, like changing the energy. Like nowadays, the world is using a lot of fossil fuel, and it's causing a lot of air pollution. Changing the power from no, switching the power source from fossil fuel to maybe like solar power, wind power, it can definitely make the environment more healthier.
Okay, thank you. You've made good points, and you've also mentioned ways how we can ensure a green environment. That's very good. Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tafhim.
So the question being said that posed that how to make the environment more green, I agree with Mr. Abdullah Tassin. He said that there's balance is key, and then I also agree that awareness should be there. But then this all roots back to what the government of a country does. So if like the governments, they should actually pose some laws that should prohibit the unnecessary cutting of trees, because trees really they don't just give us oxygen, they give us rain, and then they prevent soil erosion. There's a lot to trees that they just give us, and we just don't understand their values, because modernization and urbanization, that is important for growing population, but then what about the trees? Without the trees we couldn't live. We are acting like there is another planet to live on. So we can't be careless like this, because the carbon dioxide levels, they're rising, and that causes more flooding, and then the melting of the icebergs there in Antarctica or whatever, and then that will cause many other problems. So it's all related, the environment. So what I think is that, of course, afforestation, more greenery and everything, and then industries are important for the economy of a country, but then I think separate industrial areas should be kept. And then to prevent the industrial disasters like oil spills and everything, we have to take extra precaution, like Chernobyl disasters like that. We should prevent that. And then all the nuclear wastes, and then that should be handled properly. No, we should be more careful. That's the only thing. And then talking about awareness, media is a really important tool. And if every person decide to post something about, we all celebrate Green Day and then Earth Day, Environment Day, there are many days, but then not really many people care about them. What if each person, they just think that how important the environment is for us, and to preserve it for the future generations to come? If we could realize the importance, each and every person, then there could be a collective change in the whole environment. And talking about trees are the main things that we should be discussing about. And then what Mr. Wasi Rahman, he said that the electric cars, are, like, they say that there's no carbon emission. But then, yes, I do agree with him, because lithium ion batteries, they do worse for the environment than what the gasoline, those vehicles do. So we cannot make profit on this earth, just like some major electric car companies that push their thing, that green earth and everything. So we have to take this seriously and shouldn't think of profiting off of this important role and topic that could literally change our whole earth. As I said before, there's only one earth, and we have to think that we don't have a backup planet to live on. So it's our own earth. So every person should think responsibly. So that's what I think. That's it.
Okay, you made a very detailed explanation, and you mentioned some really good points. You mentioned how we are actually destroying the planet, and you mentioned ways how we can prevent that, and how to ensure and actually help the environment, how to ensure a green environment. I really liked your explanation. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Rehan Ahmed, would you like to share your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, so far what's been said is by Tafim and Tasim and all the others was actually very good, very excellent points. Mainly focusing on the topics of deforestation. But deforestation, as Tafim said, mentioned some, uh, you know, some consequences of deforestation, such as flooding, and also due to deforestation and the removal of trees from the environment, it causes the soil to become loose. This can cause sinkholes. This can also cause landslides, which, in more rural areas where people live in a lot of forest and all that, or even in the mountains, this can cause landslides and this can cause them to lose their homes, along with the increasing carbon dioxide levels, which obviously cause global warming, and this has been causing a rising sea level. And some countries who have a lower coast, as in like they're located lower than the latitude, average latitude, so below sea level, or like slightly above sea level, the water will rise, and basically what will happen is they're gonna be covered in, they're gonna be underwater. And even if you go to our countries like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and some of these countries, you'll see that a large majority of, not a large majority, but some of the houses there have actually been completely submerged in water because of this issue. Now, obviously, this makes it more difficult to traverse if you're in an area with a lot of water. Um, Even in parts of other countries, there's a whole town that's almost submerged in water, and to get around, they have to use boats to move around, and that's a very major issue. Now, obviously, the people who are doing this deforestation, the big companies, they don't really see this, they don't really care, because at the end of the day, they'll be making profit, and that's all they really care about. They don't care about the effect on the environment. They don't care about the effect on the wildlife and the animals. A lot of animals have gone extinct due to this deforestation, and obviously we'll never get to see those animals, and some of them might have been important to our environment and to us. So it's like what I'd like to say, is that to raise awareness for deforestation, as Tafim said, social media is a very powerful tool. But I believe more than that, actually taking action or to change, what you do and your consumption would also affect. If 1,000 people stopped using a product, obviously the that would affect the overall product's income. If 1 million people stopped using it, that would might make the company go bankrupt, and then there's no more they have no more reason to actually you know deforest or maybe throw trash in the oceans, because in most countries, not in all, some in most countries, what they do is they take their trash sewage, and the companies, they dump it into the river systems and lakes and those areas. Even in nuclear power plants, what happened at Chernobyl, they were dumping the water into the lakes. That's obviously very, very bad for the environment. So, it's not just deforestation, there's a lot of other factors. And, to just raise awareness is enough, but to take action is a lot more and could potentially help us secure a better future for us and the environment, of course.
Okay, thank you. You've made a very detailed and very clear explanation. You've mentioned environmental changes, such as negative changes, such as about mountains, about rising sea levels. You've also shared your personal experiences, and about you talked about awareness and how to spread awareness about this topic. Thank you for sharing your thoughts about this. Yes, Miss Radia Khan, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I would like to say some points, and I would like to I agree with all the people who have said before. They have shared very good points. What I would like to share is that a way how can we promote a greener environment. We can save water. From my personal experience in my school, some students go to the washroom just to wash their hands, even though even though they don't need to, and they go there for wasting time, so they don't have to attend a boring class, and they waste water by doing so. And another way is you can use recyclable products. When you use plastic water bottles, you can sorry, put them aside for your school science projects and etc.
Okay, very good. I like your points. You've mentioned ways to recycle, and you've also mentioned how people do waste water just so they can get out of boring classes. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Miss Khan Ridwan, would you like to say anything?
How to save, how to make and ensure green environment. We can plant trees, use recyclable, reusable products and bottles. We can grow our food locally and reduce carbon footprints and recycle waste products and
Okay.
drive carless also.
Okay, very good. You've mentioned excellent ways to ensure.
Sariyah, I request you the student who speak first. He or she should tell which grade and school. Then it will be.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Mr. Rabia Islam, you've raised your hand, but you put it down. Would you like to share your thoughts on this topic? Please state your grade and school before answering, please. Would you like to share any thoughts about this topic, Mr. Rabia Islam? No? Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, let's move to the next and final topic, which is the importance of time management. So, would anyone like to start us off with the final topic? The question is importance of time management. So, you have to mention how to manage time and why it's important. So, would anyone like to answer this question or raise or?
sorry to interrupt, Miss Sariyah,
Yeah.
but you might ask the persons who are barely speaking. So,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
to
Okay.
encourage them to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Sinan Fatin, would you like to share your thoughts on this topic?
Time management is it can help people be productive in their lives. Time management, it's basically split. It's basically making each segment in your daily life into something like, uh, let's say, if you're alone and you're studying outside of the country, and you're not with your parents anymore, and now you have to make your own time management. You have to make your own schedule. So you have to cook. You have to also study um, and do other activities. Time management can help with this, and uh, it can it can um, it can help you uh, relieve stress and pressure, and it can, yeah.
Okay, thank you. You've made some excellent points. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Mr. Wasir Rahman, would you like to share?
Yeah, I feel like the time management is extremely important as it makes a man decent, more punctual, and better. Okay, so let's take Sinan Fatin's example. You're studying outside, you're alone, you have no one. Often from a young age, we depend on our parents for time management, such as our parents say, "Go to sleep. Yeah, it's time to go to sleep. Okay, it's dinner time." Whatever we do, we always depend on our parents when we're young. And due to this, it can be a hard time for us when we're outside, especially doing a job. So for that, we need to learn time management from a young age. It actually helps us idealize different things. Based on time management, we idealize how our life should go. We make a plan, and based on that, even during studies, we can also have made a plan. Okay. For examinations, we also have to make a timetable on what we're studying so we're more productive instead of wasting time. Let's say there's a subject, math, you're studying math, but there's Bangla as well. You didn't create a timetable, so you forgot to study about Bangla. And then you just have 2 or 3 days left and you're going to rush. And this makes you less productive, less creative, and it instills a fear among you. Not only that, while working, you have to be punctual. You have to arrive on time. You have to sleep on time so you can wake up and go to our office early, or so that we can complete works on the due date. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You made some excellent points. You've mentioned how people usually depend on parents when they're younger for time management. And you've also mentioned what happens when you don't manage time properly. Thank you for answering. Yes, Miss Radia Khan, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I would like to share some points. Like time, like having proper time management will like improve the your quality of the work. And like if you learn how to manage your time, like if you have a timetable for everything, you can like save time for like your free, like have free time later. For example, you like have more than one subject to study and your exams are like 1-2 weeks, and you like waste your times because you think you have a lot of time left. But when you like when it's like 2 days before the exam, you realize that you have absolute no time to study, and yeah, you like waste time, and your time gets wasted for absolute no reason, and you also would get bad marks and that stuff.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You made some good points. You mentioned about the importance of time management, especially in the life of a student, and you mentioned what will happen if you don't follow time management as a student. Very good. I liked your explanation. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Miss Fafa623, would you like to share? Please introduce yourself before answering.
Hi, I'm Ayana. I'm Ayana and I'm from grade 6. So, time management is important because your life will be a mess and complicated. So, example, if you're studying math and you're not using time management, it's not gonna be good for you because, like, example, like you're going out somewhere and like you have to finish your homework before going out. So like you can put in a timer like 30 minutes math, 30 minutes English, 20 minutes art, something like that.
Okay, thank you for answering. You mentioned how time management in a student's life. That was very helpful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Yes, Mr. Ragi, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, so I'd say that time management is probably one of the most important skills to have, if not the most important, because time is basically everything. Everyone has 24 hours in their days, and how those hours are spent is what differentiates people from each other. This skill of time management is used by every single person, both adults, kids, teenagers, literally everyone. No matter what job you're doing, time management is a skill that everyone should learn how to master, and it's pretty difficult. And it's important because what happens when you don't manage your time well? So let's say you haven't planned out how you're going to use the 24 hours in your day. So, and you end up having a lot of free time. If you have no plan for the day, you're going to instinctively pick up your phone and start scrolling through social media looking for something to do. And while you're looking for things to do, you end up scrolling and wasting time, wasting several hours of your day because you're so clueless. You don't have a proper schedule, a proper to-do list, a proper routine that you can follow. None of that. So you just end up mindlessly scrolling through, just killing time and filling in the gaps in your day. And that is a result of very bad time management. And in order to be good at managing your time, you have to plan how you're going to spend every single hour of your day. And you could do that the night before, or at the early hours of your day. You could plan out how you're going to spend every single minute, every single second, if you want to go that deep. So yeah, I think that's the best way. And yeah, it's very important.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You made very good points. You mentioned what happens to basically everyone when they don't manage their time. And you also shared ways on how to manage your time properly. And yeah, thank you. Yes, Mr. Rehan Ahmed.
All right. So yeah, on talking on the topic of time management, as Sadab said, it is a very important life skill and it's very difficult to actually get correctly because, you know, it's very difficult to master since every day we might make a schedule to plan things like I'll do this at 8, I'll do this at 10, but what we can't always factor in is the small details that maybe everyday things that happen that maybe okay I was planning to go out but now there's rain and I'm unable to go out. So there's many factors that we can't account for while trying to manage our time. So trying to actually get a proper understanding of how to manage our time well and how to adjust our schedules based on the factors around us is a very difficult skill, of course. Time management is also very important because as you grow older, you'll understand, like as a you know, for my experience, when I was in the lower grades, I had a lot of free time. Of course, I would spend time studying, but I'd still have majority of it to do whatever I want, because the the education at that level isn't really at a, you know, very complicated or very difficult. But as you go higher and higher, there's more workload, and it increases by a lot. It's more complex, and it's a lot more to actually study and memorize. So managing your time becomes very important, especially as a student. You know, we as students have more importance on this time management, since we have to make time for different subjects equally. We have to make time for the subjects we're weak in over the subjects we're strong in, obviously, because, you know, so if you focus on the subjects you're strong in and not the ones you're weak in, for example, let's say, you do worse in the ones you're weak in, and maybe, you know, you get a good score, obviously, because you're strong in that subject. So managing time accordingly and based on the importance of something is very important. You know, different things, like, okay, as a student, I have a lot to study every day. I don't find time to actually, you know, do some things I like to do. Maybe if I want to go play, practice some sports that I like, I don't find the time because, you know, I'm busy studying, or I haven't planned my studying schedule accordingly. So I'm unable to actually enjoy that. So when you have good time management, you'll find yourself being able to complete your studies, and then on top of that, enjoy your life a bit more. And that'll also take stress off of you, okay? Because having an improper schedule is very stressful. Because, you know, last week I had to manage an event with my school, and last minute I had to run around doing so many things, because it we some things we didn't account for, and some things we couldn't plan for. So, you know, that put a lot of stress on me, simply because we couldn't manage our time properly, and manage the schedule properly. So that's the importance of having proper time management. It can help you in the long run, as you know, it'll reduce stress, it'll make you happier, it'll make you know, make you more at peace, you could say. And but having a bad schedule, bad time management will basically force you to work more, to stress more, think about what's going to happen next. You'll be stressing out and all of that, especially as a student when you have a lot of exams and a lot of things coming up. So that's all I have to say about time management.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You made a very long and detailed explanation. You mentioned the importance of time management, what happens if you don't manage time, and how to manage time. You've also shared your personal experience as to what happens when you actually don't manage your time. And you also mentioned how much more important time management is for students. So thank you for sharing. Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tahsin.
Yeah. So regarding time management, what I would say is managing time is something that we can give the best advice, but then it's difficult to master, even though the topic is very common. We have all been victims of bad time management. And time management is something that is very fundamental in our life. So there are some things in life that can be taught later on when you become an adult. But for me, time management is something that should be taught when the child is younger. Because whenever a child has good time management, it makes him more successful. If you see all the richest people in the world, if you see their biography, they all had good time management. So time is something that never comes back. So in your life, there will be happiness. There will be a flow of money, which will never come back. That is time. So from my time management is a very important thing to do, because without time management, you cannot do anything. If you want to be successful in life, time management is the number one thing that you should do. The number one way to become successful is through time management. Now, I know that me, from my personal experience, I'm also the victim of bad time management. So, for example, let's just say that I have exams, right? So I am very addicted to playing video games. So let's just say that I play like on an average 6 hours video games. So what I can do is I can reduce the amount of time that I play, right? Because if I just take an aim that I want to manage my time, it wouldn't be sudden. I cannot suddenly change my habits and my addictions. I can slowly improve it. So instead of, trying to resist it to the point that it makes you mad, I can say to myself, okay, I play 6 hours a day. Today I played 3 hours. So the next day I play 2 hours. So slowly I can start improving, and slowly, with time, I can actually learn how to manage time well. So importance of time management is very important in students' life as well as when you're an adult. So what I would say is, especially for the students who are still in school, that make sure that you have a routine timetable. You analyze each and everything that you do or that you need to do during the day. Once you finish those compulsory things which must be done, then you can have time for your recreational activities like play football or play video games, but within a limit. So time management is definitely something that we need to work on. So thank you. That's my point.
Ms. Sariyah,
Yeah.
excuse me, Ms. Sariyah, I observed that there is some ID, just for example, Engineer Akmal, Engineer Shoaib Parvez, Engineer MD Rejaul, Engineer Sharfaraz Khan, Engineer AFM Shamsuddoha. They are not talking anything. Can you knock them to talk actually something regarding this issue?
Yes, sure. So I really like your points. You mentioned importance of time management and why we should have time management, and your message was basically that start early. You should start managing your time from a young age. Yes. Would any of the engineers like to speak on this topic?
I'm not mentioning the engineers. Their ID, I think their kids is there, so we have to knock them to talk about something because we observed that they're keeping silent. So just request them to talk their son or daughter, whoever there, to share with us.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Abrar Pro, would you like to say anything, or perhaps Mr. Rabia Islam? Would you guys like to share anything about this topic?
Even I think our principal, Miss Kiron, her daughter also with us. So Shoaib Parvez, Shoaib Parvez, his son or daughter with us. So please, we'd like to request you to raise your hand and just try to say something regarding this topic today.
Would anyone raise their hand and speak about this topic? Maybe Mr. Abrar Pro, as I mentioned before, or Miss Talha Shoaib, would you like to say anything about this topic? No? Okay. Okay, then I'll move to the people who have their hands up. Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tafhim, you've had your hand raised for a long time. Would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, so generally, I do personally think that this is the most important topic in a while we have had, because time management, starting from students to adults to everybody in this world, time management is not only a skill but then a necessity that must be had. Uh, because starting from students, they have to have time management for their games, their activities, and then their homeworks, their studies. Even in the exam, you can't write uh, 2 pages for a 1 mark question. So even during the exam, time management is important. And then in other aspects of life, how much you talk with your relatives back in your home country, and then how much you socialize with your friends, build your image, your reputation, everything needs time management. And then if we look at it from a longer perspective, then by how much you need to be settled in your life and by how much you need to retire, you need to manage your time based on that as well. So long or short, big long term or short term, in everything time management is important. And I have heard a quote that said that more than what like how much important time is, the more important thing is what we spend it on and who we spend it on. So spending the time with meaningful people, and then doing that's a community thing, but then doing our own personal jobs and our own personal achievements and things along with that is true time management. And time is the most important thing in life because it holds so much value, because it's priceless. A 70-year-old billionaire, he can't buy time because his time is basically at the end stage. So what you cannot get back, that is the most valuable thing in your life. Money and everything else is a thing that you can get back. It will come and go. And then friends, and then not family, but then friends and rest, all the things in life that you think important, your results, your achievements, they can come and go. Your reputation can come and go, but then time cannot come and go. So spending it based on in a student's perspective, on the subjects that will make your base strong, rather than just scoring good marks for exams that won't count 10 years later, but making your base strong as a student. And then in other aspects of life as well, because life is short, and then we have to spend it meaningfully. So dealing with all of those things, if we could manage time, then a person who manages their time the most efficiently is the person who succeeds in life. Because success have different that's like the word success, it has different meanings. But to me, what success is meant is that a person who manages his time in every aspects of life. So if you could do that, then I think you are the most successful in life. And from a young age, our parents are the ones who induces this kind of time management in us, and as we grow older, we learn it ourselves how to do that. And to avoid, and one of the most important, and not important, but one of the major factors, one why a person can't do why they can't manage time efficiently, is because of the distractions. If we could make a habit and minimize those distractions, and maybe substitute it with something meaningful, and so that we can more efficiently manage our time. Because the time management, there's no limit to it. You could always manage a little bit better, so that to make your life a little bit more peaceful, and at the same time more productive. So if you could do that, then that's the definition of success.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You made a very long and detailed explanation. You mentioned that time management is important. You mentioned that time is also very priceless, and you should always spend it. You should spend it in you should like spend it well. You should not waste your time. And you mentioned, yeah, that's pretty much all you mentioned. And you also mentioned that time is important too. You can put time management in any aspect of life, anywhere. You can just fit time management right in there. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Miss Fafa 62. Yes, Ayana. Sorry. What would you like to say about this topic? Miss Ayana, would you like to say anything?
Okay, Miss Sariyah, if anybody is not, there is no any question, so our time is finished, so you can go the end of the sessions, and we will request our any senior or engineer to give your last speech to finish the session.
Ramja, there is a question and answer. So
okay,
question and answer.
So there is the 10 minutes, another more.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now we will be proceeding to the question and answer session. This is a session where you're going to be asking each other questions, and feel free to ask anyone. Anyone can answer. So, based on the 3 topics that we have discussed, does anyone have any questions? Remember, anyone can ask and anyone can answer. So, does anyone have any questions about the topics that we have discussed today? Maybe Mr. Abrar Pro, do you have any questions about today's topics? Or Mr. Ragib? Or anyone? Does anyone have any questions about the topics we've discussed today? If you do, please raise your hand and anyone can answer. Mr. Ragib, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, Mr. Raihan Ahmed, do you have any questions based on today's session?
No, I do not.
Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tahsin, do you have any questions?
I'm still trying to think. Excuse me for my statement.
Sure. Mr. Abdullah Tafhim, do you have any questions based on today's session? Any questions at all?
I don't think I do.
Okay, it seems that no one. What about Miss Radia Khan? Do you have questions?
Excuse me. Wasir Rahman speaking. I have one question.
Okay, let's okay, Mr. Wasi Rahman, you have one question, please. You can ask. There is no problem. Mr. Wasi Rahman, you have a question? Would you like to ask?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I've seen in the WhatsApp group that the topics, like the previous meetings, the topics are always the same. Why is that so? I feel like the topics should change in every meeting.
Well, this is. What do you mean by same? Like, what do you mean by that? Could you like?
Let's say just the meeting before this. So let's say just wait. Let me see. Just the meeting yesterday. There was a topic that said, should students have homework every day? How to make a neutral green environment, importance of time management. Will there be different types of topics? Because most of the links I've seen that have been sent in the WhatsApp group, they're the same topics.
Can I answer?
Well, Mr. Wasi, if you have any topic suggestions, please feel free to share the topics. So from the next session, we'll have those topics, no problem.
No, I just want to clarify. There is no session yesterday. Our session is every bi-weekly, and there is a different topic.
Okay.
And I don't think questioning the syllabus is inside the syllabus.
Wow. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions, Mr. Abdul Tafhim?
I have a question. Yes.
Okay.
I have a question for Mr. Raghib and Mr. Rehan Ahmed. They have both spoke about time management and how to make the environment green. Since you guys are seniors, do you have any personal examples that you guys have done that we could be inspired on both time management and how to make the environment green?
Yes, Mr. Raghib.
Yeah, okay, so I am grade 12, that's true, but I'm also struggling with the same issues that you're probably facing as well. So I'll try to give some tips regarding time management. So what I actually do is, before I close my eyes and go to sleep, I try to plan what I'm gonna do the next day, like just a vague idea of what are the main tasks, the most heavy tasks that I'm gonna do as soon as I wake up. So I think about, as soon as I wake up, what exactly I'm gonna do, what's the most important task that I have to accomplish the next day, and I make that my top priority. I need to get that done. So I allocate most of my time, usually the early hours of the day, because those are the hours that I feel like I'm most productive in. So I try to get the stuff done during those hours, get most of the stuff done during those hours. And then I plan out what I'm going to do for the rest of the day throughout the day. Maybe like after I wake up, after I'm done with my the most important work, I note down some things that I have to do, smaller tasks throughout the day. And yeah, that helps me stay more organized and, not go into social media and waste time because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's all I have.
I didn't expect a serious answer, but I'm enlightened. So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Wow. Does anyone else have any questions for each other? Anyone want to ask anyone anything? Okay, it seems not. So since it's already late, I would like to just make a short note that I really enjoyed today's session. I think it was very nice, and I think that many people participated, including I also saw some new faces, and yeah, I think that was very nice. So now I pass the control over to Engineer Reza, and if I had any mistakes during this session, please let me know.
Okay, thank you very much. It is excellent presentation by Ms. Sariyah, grade 6. Engineer Amjad, you can continue now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reza Ahmed, Reza Rahman. And today's I'd like to thank especially our moderator, our loving kids, Sariyah Bint Shamiul, grade 6, for his excellent performance and as a moderator. And today there is a very important topic we discuss, and lot of things, even as a guardian, we learn from them. The three major keyword: homework, environment, time management. Really, these three keyword, I believe that 80% of our life cycle involved with these three keyword. And some important topic they discuss our kids, like deforestation, landslides, increasing carbon dioxide, rising sea level, flooding town or villages, waste of water, using the recycle materials. Lot of things we learn from them. So especially I would like to thanks even today's one of the respective principals who attend with us, like Ms. Kiron Akhtar from Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Bangladeshi Islamic School, Abu Dhabi. I'd like to thank all of our senior guardian, especially Engineer Mozem Hussain, Shahidul Islam, Engineer Shahidul Islam, Engineer Ijaz Kalim Bhai, Engineer Liakot, Engineer Imran Hussain from Bangladesh, Engineer Khaza Ahmed from Bangladesh, Engineer Rezaur Rahman, UE, Engineer Akmal Hussain, UE, Engineer Wasikur Rahman. I believe that Wasik Bhai in Saudi. Engineer Shoaib Parvez Bhai, Engineer Alamgir, Engineer Shamiul, Engineer MD Rezaur Rahman, Engineer Shorfraz Khan, and FM Shamsudduha Bhai. So I would like to thank everybody. And today we got a very good announcement from our two respectable guardians, as well as they are the very senior engineer in Abu Dhabi. One of them, our engineer Mozem Hussain Bhai, he already announced that he already discussed with the Dubai consular and the embassy of the UAE Abu Dhabi that they are interested to join with us. They have the school in Bangladesh. All the students, they will join us in future. One of our engineer, Shohidul Islam Bhai, he already announced that for our kids, those who are attending in this session, our advisor team, they will select first, second, and third, and he announced already $200, $100, and $100 also. So our advisor will decide that this first, second, and third from our student. So thank you very much. So today, this is the last. I'm going to end this one, and before going to end, I'm requesting you, Miss Kiran, to deliver his speech about this session. And thank you very much. Thank you everybody who's joining with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, walaikum.
Miss Kiran, you are with us.
Yes, I am here. I'm really amazed to hear each and every student. I'm very happy to be with them today and learned a lot. Even I'm a principal, but still knowing their views about how they are doing with the homework, coping with the homeworks, and how they are managing time and the environment improvement. I'm really amazed they are thinking all of it. Hopefully, inshallah, we'll be having more of the sessions and they'll get benefit from these topics. And I just want them, one thing I would want them to do is enjoy whatever they're doing. Even if it's studying, enjoy your studies so that it doesn't stress you out. But that's how it works. And even if you're studying, don't sit use too much of time, because that again we are living in UAE. Mostly we are sitting idle, and that doesn't help our physical conditions as well. Doesn't We are not physically active. That is also a negative point. So everything needs to be like, we should justify it, even if the time consumption in studies and the time consumption in our technology, all should be like, it should be well justified. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate. Thank you, Mr. Azad. Amjad Khan. It was really nice meeting you all. Hopefully, inshallah, I'll be joining you in the next session as well and listen to you all so that we can improve ourselves, inshallah. Thank you. And it was Mona Lisa, right? Very nicely conducted. I'm very much happy to see such a talent in you. Hopefully, you'll be doing far more better work, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. My name is actually Sariyah. It's just Mona Lisa because it's on my mom's account. But yeah, thank you though.
Most
Okay.
welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you very much. Today video will be YouTube link will be shared in our platform, and everybody can watch and enjoy the video. And we welcome everybody to have any suggestion, feedback to improve further. We want to improve day by day. Engineer Amjad, you want to tell something?
No, just Reza bhai, I would like to request our one of the dearest engineer, the Khaja Ahmed from Bangladesh. He always is just encouraging us about this session. So I'd like to give him just half minute speech.
Yeah, Engineer Khaja bhai.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I think it is so much waste of time, whether it was a waste of time, 1 hour at midnight, or something extraordinary that you listen to these young chaps, the young blood from everywhere. I mean, the Middle East. It is certainly very encouraging to listen to them. I think we have more interactions in future. Just by listening to them is also a big, I think, success for all seniors. I mean, especially those who are not living in the same time zone. I think these children, they are the blessings of Almighty. And these children, they have something in mind which you don't have. So naturally, we have a lot of things to learn from them. And sitting idle, I don't think none of us are sitting idle. Having too many homeworks or less homeworks, that is also not a good debate. The question is, I mean, you are having your studies, okay, you are a student, but we also say that, I mean, with brilliant results, like all engineers here, the cream of the society, they are all talented, and with brilliant results they have. But are they, or have they become a good human being at the same time? Now, the qualities of good human being also an important factor, which I think all parents joined today. We didn't get their views as much as we would love to get them. But I think hats off to all these parents also. They are staying overseas, and these dream children, we love to hear more and more from them. It's a Mona Lisa or it's a Sariyah. To me, it's like a little Tarzan. But it all happens. It all happens everywhere. I mean, around us, within our children. And I congratulate the organizers for such a exceptional type of interactive session. Although we didn't interact that much, but we listened to them. But listening was also very fascinating, and I would really love and love to hear them more and more in future. But maybe not dead of night at midnight at this hour. Maybe we could do it a little bit earlier, and that is much better for children to participate. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to get feedback. Here, Fafa,
yes,
are you from Bangladesh, or which country you're from? Fafa?
Khaza.
Fafa. No, one of the student participants is Fafa.
Fafa, yeah, Fafa.
Actually,
yeah,
this we have to check. Actually, Engineer Amjad and Engineer Khaja bhai. because in
Yes.
Bangladesh the starting time is 11, so we have to discuss with Bangladeshi students and we can make it earlier, little earlier. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
And
Sure.
here, Sariyah, what do you think? If you make it 8 o'clock, is it fine? Just I'm getting feedback.
Yeah. 8 o'clock. Yeah, I think 8 o'clock is good timing.
Yeah.
Actually, Fafa is my school friend. I invited her to this meeting. She was interested in it.
Okay. That means she is from UAE. Okay.
Yeah. She's from Belarus, half a Lebanese, but she lives in UAE and she finds interest in this meeting.
So this will think about that because in Bangladesh it is 11 till is very late. So we'll think about that and maybe we can make earlier. Okay, Engineer Amjad, you can
I have a question. About 8 o'clock, what time was it in Bangladeshi time, 8 o'clock?
No. UAE time should be 8 o'clock.
UAE time. Okay.
Bangladesh
it
should
is
be 10
just
o'clock.
discussion is not final.
Yeah.
We'll announce after discussion. You will announce.
Yeah, sure. So thank you everybody who is today with us, especially Khaza Ahmed bhai from Bangladesh. Actually Khaza Ahmed bhai আমি তার খুবই ভক্ত, স্পেশালি খাজা আহমেদ ভাই অনেক সুন্দর কথা বলেন। আমরা চাই যে খাজা আহমেদ ভাই আমাদের মাঝে অনেক নতুন কিছু নিয়ে আমাদের এই ছোট বাচ্চাদের মাঝে আসবেন এবং আমরা ওই দিন টোটালি খাজা ভাইয়ের যে সেশনটা যে ধরনের টপিক নিয়ে আসবেন আমরা তার সাথে থাকবো এবং আমাদের সবসময় খাজা আহমেদ ভাই আমাদের এনকারেজ করে থাকেন, আমাদের অ্যাডভাইস দিয়ে থাকেন। আমরা তার অবশ্যই তাকে আমরা সবসময় আমাদের সাথে চাই। তো সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ আজকের এই আমাদের সাথে সুন্দর সেশনে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য। ইনশাআল্লাহ আবার আপনাদের সাথে সবার সাথে দেখা হবে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে।
ওয়া আলাইকুম আসসালাম।
ওকে, ওয়া আলাইকুম আসসালাম।